Welcome to the Big Mike and Little Ant channel on the Big Mike and Little Ant. As we usually do our podcast, today we're talking about Wanda Vision, the MCU's first show on Disney Plus. I don't know what Anthony's doing right now,
I
but
was trying to do when she got the book. All right.
all right. But we so normally if you guys watch our channel, when a show has a series, we review each episode, one by one. But since WandaVision has shorter episodes, we decided to wait until the end of the season and review it as an entire series instead of doing each episode. So we're going to go into detail about the entire series, talk about certain episodes, what we liked, didn't like, spoilers, surprises, theories that weren't right, what you expect. We're gonna do this whole thing. So we're excited to have you guys in here. If you want to talk about your thoughts and what you liked about it, and any questions that you didn't get answered, feel free. So what are your first thoughts there?
Well, first of all, because I gotta say this is your time to leave if you didn't watch the show. Now, here's the thing: some people probably didn't watch it. Remember, it's connected to the Marvel universe. So if you don't care to hear us spoil it, because it's called a spoiler discussion, then fine, stay with us. If you've seen it, stay with us. But if you didn't, if you want to watch it on your own with nothing spoiled, this is your time to exit because we are going to spoil it. Just want to put that out there because sometimes people feel that they wasn't given, that, hey, but you didn't say, no, yeah, we're going to spoil this thing. So, all right. So, first 3 episodes, trash. I'm done.
Well, before let's came right about whatever with that one and whatnot. So, all right. Okay, well, go ahead. What was your thoughts? Well, let's talk about your expectations first of the series,
yeah, man,
and then what it met, not met. So let's start from the beginning.
So before I do that, let me jump in the chat real quick because these people have been here before we got in here. So my boy Ray, the Game and Cyborg, said, "Yo, Josh Warren is in the building." He said, "Damn, I want to listen to this, but I'm at a baby shower." Man. Listen, guys shouldn't get caught up at baby showers anyway. You got to learn how to say no. I didn't even go to my brother's baby shower. I was like, bro, I ain't going to a baby shower. But my wife, my daughters went.
You got to grow. You got to change, man. It's a different time frame, bro. But anyway, go ahead.
I guess this coming from this show ain't about that. All right, but tomorrow, Mike. Anyway, so yeah, Josh is in the building. He said, curious what Tony thinks with his entire journey with the show. Yep, you're gonna hear it all. Big Mike, please break down the genius of Marvel. Yep, Big Mike is gonna do what he do best. And Mr. Urban was on here, says I'm on episode 5, WandaVision right now, and I'm not reading chat and have all right, cool, you got to unmute. Good stuff. But thanks for showing your support. We appreciate it. E Money in the building. Trash, LOL. It was. Yeah, so that's about it. So, all right, now we can get started. So, my expectations from the moment Marvel and Disney said they were going to make shows that intertwine into movies. Now, reason why this was big for me, because I feel in the history of television, this was never done right. Okay, so what I mean is, I'm used to them having TV shows and then create a movie. But they have movies that was loved and so many of them and did so well, not only at the box office, but we love these Marvel movies. So to take big actors and put them in a TV show that will branch off to another movie, poof, mind blown. So my expectation was very high. But I will say this, and I said this to you before I even seen the show. The trailers for this I wasn't so into because I felt like they was holding back. Now, the very last trailer they showed before the show started, it looked pretty good. I was like, okay, wait, they showed her flying around and stuff. But it looked like they was just sitting on the couch in black and white. So my expectation was high because I had a feeling it was high because I seen every single Marvel movie and I would have had to, I don't care if the whole show was black and white, but I would have had to watch the whole show. So my expectations was pretty high, but it wasn't as high because I didn't see trailers that made me that enthusiastic about seeing the show.
Okay. So I think they announced WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier initially, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe another one. Oh, Hawkeye. Yeah, Hawkeye, stuff like that. So I think that I was excited for all of them. I'm a huge Marvel fan, as you
Mm-hmm.
know. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen every movie multiple times in the theaters, stuff like that. So I'm really all into this stuff. And Anthony will tell you this. I'm the person who, will watch the show or movie and then spend
Yeah.
hours watching other stuff
Yeah.
related to it and stuff like that. So initially, though, but just the look of it, I'm with you. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
very excited about the whole WandaVision thing. It looked like it was some old timey stuff.
But you
And
did say you were more interested in WandaVision than the Falcon and Winter Soldier, though. You
well, I'm
did
gonna get
say
to
that.
that. I'm gonna get to that. So
Okay.
initially, just by the look, I wasn't excited
Mm-hmm.
about it. But then doing what I do, taking a deep dive
Right.
and going to some of the other channels, talking about theories and things like that, it did get me more excited for
Okay.
WandaVision. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier, as dope as it does look, how I want to say this.
It looks
Like we,
linear. It looks
like
linear.
we've seen
Yeah.
it before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A buddy cop action type movie
Right.
or whatever. I'm enjoying it. I'm an action junkie or whatever like that.
Right.
However, it doesn't look thought provoking. I'll put it like that. It
Yeah.
looks like just, like it's like I told you, like meat and potatoes. Or like WandaVision was like sides and
Right.
desserts and all types of stuff like that or whatever
Right.
like that. So that's how I was at first. Now, I will say that when the first couple episodes happened, as you were saying, I don't want to say trash, and we had that conversation or whatever like that. Only because I knew it was world building, so
Right.
I felt like they were necessary. Which you came to say later on that they were necessary to get to where we were originally.
Agree.
And whatnot.
Great payoff. Great payoff.
But they were hard to sit through, and I want to ask you guys in the comments this because I said this to Anthony and others. I normally I have gotten now to a point where I really like shows that come on weekly because you can talk about it every week and blah, blah, blah. But I do think the way WandaVision started off so slow, it might have been better as a binging show or whatever.
What they could have did, knowing that they had the knowledge of their show, right? I don't know how, like, was they producing them every week or whatever, but remember what they did with The Boys. They had the first 3 episodes straight up. Wanda could, if they did the first 3 episodes straight up, that might have been like, you got a good clip of the back in the day looking, and then the very next week it'd have been like, oh, okay, here we go.
Right.
The question is, if you had to sit through 3, would you eventually stop like after the second one or something? Who knows?
Well, here's what I'll say. So when WandaVision came out, they came out with 2 in the beginning and whatnot. However, the people in the media, they got 3 or whatever. So they got 3 at first. We got 2.
Right.
So when I was watching their channels, they were like, they should have gave you guys 3. You know what I mean? They were saying what you were saying. Like if you got to the 3rd, it would have left you ready for the 1st. But giving 2, it's like, and then the 3rd you got to get, another one.
You're right. It was 2 back to back.
It was 2 at first. Yeah. But they didn't give us 3. They said they should have gave us the first 3 because that was kind of the setup episodes and whatnot. So that was their mistake. I feel like, even though I feel like it was on purpose.
I wonder the statistics. I wonder, are there people out there that didn't finish it? Right. I wonder, are there people that was like, I couldn't do it because they were totally gonna miss out. But I wonder.
Well, I don't know about that, but in the ratings that did come out, because Disney ratings come out a little later than other stuff, but you do see a spike like from episode 1, 2, 3, then the 4 like jumps up in the ratings, stuff like that. So I don't think people fell off. I think people after 4 started telling other people like, yo, you should watch this show, right? And then it kind of jumped up. And whatnot.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it's how it works.
Because I do know a couple people that was like, it doesn't look interesting. I said, no, trust me. Wait to episode 4. And I do know some people who are watching it was like, and I said same thing. Wait to episode 4. So
I will say the fan theories, Easter eggs, that they probably kept me more engaged in the first couple episodes than I wouldn't have been had I went in cold.
Yeah, you said there were some cool ones too, right?
Oh yeah. With a bunch of stuff.
You told me about the card trick.
Yeah. Which was a callback. So that was Jimmy Woo's character, or Randall Park's character, Jimmy Woo, which was a callback to Ant-Man, where he learned how to do the tricks from Ant-Man. Just little stuff. Marvel does that all the time, whatever like that and stuff. So, but and it's dope. I feel like that they always kind of give you a callback if you saw all the movies.
We're gonna get to it, but just can you tell me this? When you said you looked at a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, and it got you excited for the show and what you thought the show could be, did it meet your expectations?
Yeah,
Cool.
it definitely did. Yeah, definitely. And we'll get to it. Yeah, but I will say it met my expectations. Now, since you were not very high on it, did it
Right.
meet your expectations?
Yeah, and even it did a greater service for me because I love an underdog. So I like something that I don't think I'm gonna like, and then it really like knocked my socks off. So the fact that I was complaining about episode 1, 2, and 3, and then it got really good, I even like it even more. I'm like, man, they did a great job because those 3 episodes was trash. However, it made it so much better for me calling it trash and being like, you know what, bravo. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So we got the about that. So, what was the biggest surprise for you in the series? I would say.
I guess
Actually, you know
honestly,
what? We got a lot of comments to get to. To be
yeah.
honest
Let's
with you.
get to these comments then. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. So, let's see. Stadia Pro Gaming is in the building. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. He said the show was fantastic, man. It was a deep dive into the psyche of a broken woman, Wanda. Very sad story. Awesome though. Yeah. And I gotta ask you something too, man. But
Yep. We'll get to it.
E Money said, I'm gonna be real. It was a origin story. I mean, it should have been, right?
Right.
Because when you asked me about it, what I was gonna say was, you said, was there any surprises? I thought it was cool that, because I said it to my wife when she was introduced. I said, Wanda, she's a Scarlet Witch,
Right.
and it's cool now.
Right.
She's
Right.
known as the Scarlet Witch, right? And
Yeah.
to say the series really put that out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Apparently my boy Stadia Pro Gaming, his name is William. He's also streaming at the same time, so I really appreciate it. Oh my, listen guys, we got a celebrity in the house, X2I. He's actually Dan from Stadia Source. He's the owner, founder, and creator of Stadia Source. So thanks for tuning in, Dan. He said the fights in WandaVision at the end were mint, but the ending was somewhat lackluster. I wanted a bit a cameo or something. I got you. Now, there was the ending, there was a little bit of credits and a ending, and there was the after credits ending.
Which I told you guys, make sure you stay and watch
Yeah,
and
so
whatnot.
I hope everybody's seen all 3.
Yeah. I know what he's saying, but I'll get to that when you finish the
Yeah.
comments. So yeah.
Stadia Pro said Ray is fire, because he's watching both. Let's see. Ray said Vision is not dead. X2I said the paradox about the boat had me scratching my head though. And let's see.
The boat.
Ray said, I'm glad I saw episode 5. And we got actually about the paradox too, about the boat, because I'm not sure what you mean. So you could definitely enlighten me on that one. Unless Mike, you know what he's talking about?
I don't know. I ain't see a boat. Do you see a boat?
Nope.
Okay.
Stadia Pro Gamer said the book from her in the multiverse of man. Oh, he's probably meant book. Maybe that's what he mean. The paradox about, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get, let us know, Dan. E Money said also Paul Bettany, aka Vision, need to shut his trap. Surprise cameo was talking about him himself. Oh, when they was talking to each other, that was kind of funny. And Stadia Pro said what's going to be crazy is when Doctor Strange shows up to collect the book from her.
Right.
And
so
Ray said,
okay.
All right.
So the book is the Darkhold or whatever. The book is something that's been in Marvel forever. It's a book that is used by sorcerers and witches and stuff like that. But it's very, very dark magic. That she's using obviously to learn that dark magic, which is going to make her a villain eventually in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, because they said she is the villain, and they set it up by Agatha saying that your power is more stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, which is Doctor Strange. But I want to get to E's comment a little bit. So
and then Dan, hold up, Dan writes back so we can see his thing. Dan said the boat Vision conversations with himself about if you have a boat and replace the pieces of wood pieces by pieces and used it to create another boat, which is the original boat.
I think that was pretty genius. I love that conversation. I love that. You know what, Dan? I love their conversation more than their fight. I love how they were fighting the two visions in the middle, and he said, "Well, am I really Vision?" And then he said, elaborate. I thought that was
That was really good because you would think he's technically supposed to be the villain, right? Supposed to be the
right.
bad guy, but he's still Vision, and he wants that knowledge. That was
Right, right.
cool.
I thought that was cool. And Dan, I kind of agree with that. I mean, that's a great question though. Like if you have a boat and you break it down piece by piece, but use that boat to make another boat, then it's really the original boat. Or is it a new boat? I
Right,
think that's fucking genius, actually, or
right, right.
whatever. Like it's very thought provoking.
Well, let me ask you this: could we go there?
Yeah.
At that scene, he says he touches him. The light lights up and everything, and he says, "I am Vision," and flies away. So is Vision back?
Vision's back because that was his original body, the White Vision,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got his memory back. He no longer has that to kill Vision or whatever. That order to kill
Right,
Vision and kill
right.
Wanda.
Because now he
He
knows
just
he is Vision.
right. So he's just Vision now. He's back. He's got his memory all the way back up into when Thanos killed him and stuff like that. So I don't
So,
know where
so,
he's going, but he's back though.
so here's the part that gets me, because that's what I felt, and I was like, so then wouldn't you go see Wanda? So I felt like the writing, man, it's like,
No, I don't feel like that because I feel like even though he got his memory back, I feel like he's still kind of confused right now or
okay,
whatever like that.
all
I
right,
still
that's
think he
good.
needs some
That's a good
time
little out.
and whatnot. As far as I want to talk about the cameo. So what he's
Mhm.
talking about, I don't know what you know or not, but what he's talking about is a few things. Paul Bettany on an interview said that there's a cameo coming and it's somebody he never acted with and he's happy to finally get a chance to act with that
Okay,
person. See how it goes. He was talking about acting with himself
that's
playing the
cool.
Vision,
Right.
but all these people on the internet, what we do is they start saying, "Oh, who is it? Is it Spider-Man? Is it Doctor
There
Strange?
we go.
Blah
Yeah.
blah blah." So now they're all disappointed because of that. So you
And
actually are you like it more than them because you didn't know all this stuff or
that's
whatever like
right.
that.
And
So,
bro, I told you when I used to watch that Wrestle Talk TV on
right,
YouTube,
right,
I watched it for years. I said, you know what? I will watch it and they were like, oh, this person's gonna interrupt the match and be a surprise. And I watch the match and don't happen. And now I'm mad at the match. I'm like, Vince McMahon ain't come and tell you that was gonna happen. You getting
right.
mad. Yeah, and so the same thing in the video game community. We'll get hyped up over a game we think's coming or a rumor or whatever, right? And it doesn't happen, and it's like we built up our own unrealistic expectation. Now we're mad. We should be mad at ourselves. So yeah, that's why I kind of had to cut out spoilers. But I get it though, because these
Yeah,
people are thinking like, oh, that was a good look. Like he said it for a reason, because people are watching, right? But
right,
for him, he said it for him personally. I'm
right,
excited for who I'm gonna work with, the cameo. And
right.
it's the people's fault that took it thinking Spider-Man and all this stuff.
Just like you, right? Remember, it just happened to you with the Tenant and Inception, right? You heard all the
Yes.
stuff, right?
Big.
Yeah,
I may have liked Tenet way more, but we were all talking and people was like, "Oh, the rumor is Tenet is gonna fit in the world of Inception." So I'm watching the movie like, I don't know yet. It don't seem like they mentioned anything. So I leave like, but what's his name who wrote the movie?
Oh my God, we talk about him all the time. I can't remember
I
him
know,
now.
right? I had a blank. But
Anyway, yeah, go
he
ahead.
didn't come down and say, "Oh, Anthony," my phone rang. Hey, what's up? Oh, just so you know, Inception and Tenet connect. No,
Christopher Nolan. Christopher
Christopher
Nolan. Yeah,
Nolan.
yeah,
So that's on us. But
yeah. That's what I said. That's on us. So
that's on us.
you're getting a lot of backlash because of that. Like, why wasn't there a big cameo? Or we were expecting to see. We'll get into this now. So Agatha, the
Okay,
witch of the show, apparently she was the villain, right?
right.
But in the comics, again, that's another problem. In the comics, Agatha she is kind of the apprentice of the devil Mephisto, right? Who's
Okay,
another villain or whatever. So they all thought before the even show came out, when the previews came out, Mephisto gonna be in this show,
right.
but it never came. So now they're all mad, like, where was Mephisto? But Kevin Feige
That-
never said it was gonna be
That's
Mephisto.
it's telling you unrealistic expectations do itself. Now, I will say this, right? Growing up for me, Vision, Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, they was never popular characters. And when I grew up, when I was little.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
me, I was always like, and I think this is what Marvel does great. again, I always go back to the Guardians of the Galaxy. They took really, really, really non-popular characters and made them household names.
Yeah.
And so for me, even when I was talking to my wife earlier, I said, listen, Wanda was the one person in Endgame that put the look of fear on Thanos' face. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Wanda's a beast, bro. Like after the show, for real. Like, listen, Wanda is. I don't know what she can't do. Like, even this last episode, she was doing freaking like what's his name? In X-Men who disappears and comes back or whatever.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. She was doing that shit. I was like, what can she do now? Whatever. Like, that's crazy. So. Yeah, Wanda's a beast, bro. She was throwing cars. She can get in your mind. She can throw fireballs at you. She can fly. What the hell can Wanda do?
So hold up. So we're all over the place, and this is fine. I feel like let's not do like we usually do where we go episode.
No, we're not. We're not. We're
all right, cool. So let's go there. So Rambo, am I saying her name? How do you say her name?
Yep, Monica Rambeau.
Rambeau. She was talking about Captain Marvel at the end, right?
Of course.
Wait. When Skrull came out, and Skrull was like somebody that was a friend of your mom.
Oh, no. She said he. So she's talking about Nick Fury and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, because if you saw, remember Nick Fury was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
House. But if you saw the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, it showed Nick Fury on the space station, the Sword space station.
Okay.
Already. That's where he's at right now. Whatnot. So she's talking about Nick Fury because Nick Fury knew her as a little girl, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, because when she was pointing, she was like, she was pointing up, and then she was like, oh, and I was like, oh, she must be talking about Captain Marvel.
No, because she said he wants to see. I
didn't realize she said he. Okay.
Yeah. So they talk about Fury because I think Fury and Rambo are both going to be in Captain Marvel too.
Oh, this is awesome. Listen, I said, how can they do better than they did for all the first phases, right? Well, phase 1, 2, 3, 4, right? No, this is going to be phase 4. We're going right. So for me, I don't want to say better, but bro, to have a TV show that goes to a movie and the movie go to the TV, if they got to get they writing solid though, right?
Yeah.
But this is.
But to several movies, because remember Scarlet Witch is now going to Doctor Strange, and Rambo's going to Captain Marvel. So it's like they're spreading to several movies.
Just imagine when Winter Soldier and Falcon come out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They come out in 2 weeks or whatever. So
that's I can't even. I'm not like. Am I ready? And we've been wanting it, but it's like wow.
Yeah, and they have hour episodes, so we may be able to do those week by week reviews, depending on how you feel or whatever like that.
Let's see what's up with the chat.
Yeah.
Let's see, guys. We thank you all for coming out too. Remember, tomorrow is episode 26 of Big Mike and Little Ant.
11:30.
11:30 p.m. Let me get it right.
No, a.m.
11:30 a.m. You know what's in my head is now. I've been doing the Stadia Bash Community Network, and I've been dealing with people from all over the globe. Like even Dan is from UK. He's 5 hours ahead. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 o'clock GMT time. And I try to do it back for Ray because he's in Pacific, but forget him. But let's see. Let me see where we at. Let's see. Oh yeah, E already said that. Say Pro said I thought Wanda was going to merge the visions. But yeah, that would have been kind of cool. But technically the one vision wasn't really real. Anyway. Ray said I had a thing for Scarlet Witch when I was a young. LOL. I feel like they didn't start dressing her sexy to recent times. Said I hate the versions of classic uniforms. Yeah, you know how that is. And Stadia Pro said just subscribe. Love the discussion. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
We must eat money's comment when he said no, he shouldn't. No, we should be mad at the man who opened his mouth that work on the show. Talk about Paul Bettany again about the cameo.
Nah, I don't blame him. Listen, he was like he said, he was excited to work with somebody he never worked with before. That's his excitement to work with himself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. and that probably would be different. Talk, to them shooting and playing.
Yeah, look at the people who got a chance to do that. Like I remember, I'm taking it back. One of my favorites was Jean-Claude Van Damme, Double Team.
Yeah, I remember that.
Him and his one
have a slick hair and one have a different haircut.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, I remember that stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, so back to it. Yeah, so now the other part that people were mad about, I'm gonna get into that stuff or whatever like that, is the whole part about the brother Pietro, and that they used the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe and whatnot. Tell me how you guys felt about that.
Okay.
And everybody thought that was going to be a tie in the X-Men, but he wound up being just a random guy who lived in the neighborhood.
So here's what's crazy. I'm looking at him, and we got amped up because we just started watching American Horror Story a couple months ago. So he's a prominent character in every season, and that's one of Sandy's favorite characters. So we're like, oh, they chose him to play, Quicksilver. We forgot until I seen a YouTube thing that he did play Quicksilver, but in X-Men. And then I was even like, yo, this is even more cool. Like, so, and again, because when he said, she was like, you chose somebody else to play him, so it's all like a movie sitcom anyway, so it worked so much for me.
Right. So and for you, like I said, you're not thinking about all the extra stuff or seeing it. So people are mad, like, well, this was your chance to cross the X-Men over. But he never said he was going to do that. Feige has a plan when he will bring the X-Men over.
X-Men. Like,
correct. Why
would you do that? Because you would kind of screw yourself when you come out with a brand new people, and then somebody going to be like, oh, that was dumb. They put him for Quicksilver because now it's a different dude.
Right. It don't make any sense and whatnot. But I mean, I think he did kind of mess with the fans a little bit on that one. However, again, it's your fault for your expectations and whatnot. But the other part was like Marvel was so dope or whatever like that. So in the episode where and we'll get to this in a second too, but in the episode where they went trick-or-treating and whatnot, and he's walking and talking to her, and he says kick ass, and then she says kick ass right back to him, like that. And that was a call back because both Quicksilvers were in Kick Ass together and stuff like that. So that was dope too, like the movie Kick Ass or whatever like that. So and they were friends, both Quicksilvers. So that was really dope actually. So,
and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the dude from American Horror Story was also in Kick A. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know. And they both wound up playing Quicksilver, which is crazy, actually. So it's Marvel be knowing what they doing and stuff like that. Double Impact, Aegis, Double Impact. Anyway, we'll get back to the comments in a second. So so I thought, so how did you like? I mean, I know you didn't like the earlier stuff, the Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy type stuff or whatever. But once you start getting to like the color stuff, when they show more,
when she first cut her hand, then the blood, it was like red and in black and white.
Yeah. So sitcoms, like even from the 80s, were kind of parody off of like like Growing Pains,
Family Matters, and
and all that type of stuff. So did you start liking it? Family Ties and stuff like that?
I think I started liking it more because I felt like it was getting closer to bringing Marvel. What I was waiting for was, okay, I've been waiting for them to do this show and tie into the MCU. But the first 3 episodes, I feel like didn't do it, like it was subliminal. But once it got to color, I feel like then it was those strict tie-ins. Like even when they made Dude come out the ground and he had the bees flying around him, it was all creepy looking. I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh wait, who's that? Like my brain was, I just felt like they was really starting to kind of like.
Well, let me take to the sitcoms part for a second. Were you into any of those sitcoms? Like when you were young?
Yeah, I used to watch Leave It to Beaver. I used to watch Mr. Ed. I used to watch what's his name? Dennis the Menace. I used to watch Flipper. Like I used to watch a lot of sitcom. I used to watch the Brady Bunch when I was younger.
Yeah, they did that one too. So no, they should watch them. Did you notice the
tie-ins?
The parallels to those sitcoms when you were watching.
Well, the Smoking Gun was the intros. So they were really trying to keep the intros to the certain intros. That was cool.
It was, and the clothes too and stuff like that.
And when the guests came to the door, you got the guests knock on the door, and the crowd started laughing when the person came in. Agatha did a good job at her throwbacks.
Oh man, we'll get to her. We'll get to her in a second or whatever like that. Also like the commercials that played with those sitcoms because they kind of matched them and stuff like that. Even the '90s one with the Kool-Aid, whatever it was, stuff like that. Like I remember those type of commercials and stuff like that. So I thought that was I thought that was pretty cool. The Marvel now as far as the Marvel stuff, especially when they were outside of the bubble and whatnot. I definitely like Rambo, Jimmy, and Darcy, like their little trio, their little
Yeah.
team.
Yep.
I loved them together. I thought they worked well together, and I did like that. How about you?
Now, help me out. Darcy was in Thor, right?
Thor 1 and 2, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, cool.
Yeah. So they brought her back. Yeah, because
All right.
she's a doctor now. Before she was still studying. Now she's a doctor and
Right.
whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, she's a
That was
physicist
really
now.
cool. That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Another tie-in. I think that's so dope how they
Yeah.
do that stuff or whatever like that. But yeah, I thought they were a good team. And
Yeah.
Hayward, bro. Did you hate Hayward too? Like I hated him?
Oh, the main bad dude. Well,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. I didn't
Yeah.
hate him that much because at first they made it like he was a good guy, and then I was like, well, I mean, he made good points for me. He was like, this is like $5 billion I mean, a $5 billion robot. Like, I get that she fell in love with Vision, but at the same time, he's property of the government. You know.
Right.
So
That's
I
true.
would just like to be real. I mean, I know you're in love and all this, but my man just said 5 billion. All right, he didn't
Right.
say with a B, right? So
Right.
I mean, I'm just, you
I
know.
mean, it makes sense, especially because you wanted to bury him. Like you can't put that shit in the ground. I
Right.
understand.
Yeah, that's I was just
Right.
like, I mean, because I love the movies so the movie was her wanting to get his body and bury him. But the other part of the realistic part was like, if the government owned this, nobody's just burying this $5 billion piece of equipment, a weapon.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
first of all, you're gonna bury him and the bad guy's gonna dig him up and take his body. Let's be clear. Unless you're gonna
Right.
put a spell on the ground, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
so
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't hate him that much because I felt like he had a good cause. And he was just trying to nothing. He was trying to stop at nothing to get that body back.
I feel like he was just such an asshole though,
He
or whatever
was
like that.
definitely
You know what I
was
mean? Like he made me not like him. His cause wasn't that bad.
right,
He's not even a villain of the show to me actually.
right.
But I just felt like he was such a even how he treated Rambeau, like some of that stuff when he talked about her mother,
Right.
like and Captain Marvel and stuff like that. I feel
Mhm.
like some of his words were just a little much. Whatever. And I know they built him to be that way. He played his
Yeah.
part. I put it like
Well,
that.
no, I think that's pretty cool. Remember, we got to get back to this, but we had a question on Big Mike Little Ant. You guys got to check it out way back, some episodes before, where you showed me the video and the guy was like, what character do you hate the most, and what character do you like? And we was like, and we never answered it because we couldn't think of the characters that we hate the most. We was like, we'll get back to it. But he did his job at being a character that he made you dislike. You know, it's like when I think of wrestling. The Miz gets a golden award. Everybody want to punch him in the mouth, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
But he's just doing his job. So
Right. Yeah, definitely. And how about Rambo herself or whatever like that? Because she was kind of like the lead of that trio and
right.
whatnot.
I liked her. When I first seen her on the screen, I said she looked like a Disney princess. She could be like a black Disney princess. Like her facial features and her hair and everything. It was funny. But I think she did a good job. I mean, part of the thing that's hard is watching a show and thinking that these characters will one day be in the movie because that's you always look down on it like 90210 having a movie. You're like, what? I don't even want to see this in the movies, right? Like when Power Rangers, right?
Hmm.
But knowing that Marvel's gonna get behind it, so I had to keep separating myself from like, oh, she was playing a good character, but can I really see her in a movie? And it's like, bro, it's gonna be a Marvel movie. They're gonna pull it off, if and when they put the characters in movies.
You know what? I thought she was a good actress.
Mhm.
Well, shout out to Tiana Parrish. She is a good actress. I've seen a lot of stuff or whatever like that.
Okay.
But shouts out to her. But so I think she's a good actress overall. Like I think that she played her part, but I think I could tell she was a little bit amateur when it comes to the superhero stuff.
Right.
When she had to walk through the hex, when she was stopping the bullets or
Right.
and all that stuff, you can really tell. And she did say it's her first time like acting on a green screen and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I can kind of tell that because that's so new to actors. Like
Right.
there's a fake background, you got to act like bullets are coming through you. Like
Right.
it's like so different than like me and you talking and stuff like
Right.
that. So I can really tell that. But I said it to say I think by the time she's in the next movie, you'll
Mhm.
see the like the growth,
Right.
as far as dealing with the green screen part of it and the superhero aspect or whatever like that. And I
Right.
think you see it in all the people, like from the first movie to the third or fourth movie, like how they're more comfortable and things of that
Yep.
nature.
Who
So
was your favorite character on the show? Out of everybody, your top character.
man, favorite character on the show.
Mhm.
Wow.
Want me to tell you mine?
Yeah, I go with mine next. Go ahead.
I actually liked Vision. I loved his accent. I loved him when he realized Wanda was really kind of the bad guy, kind of
Hold
sort
on
of.
1 second. Answer that question too, guys. Who was your favorite character on the show? If you can in the
Definitely.
comments.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
definitely gonna get back to the comments and to everybody who's just coming in. We're doing obviously the title, but a spoiler discussion for WandaVision. So again, if you haven't seen it, we are spoiling it. We're just going into detail. But yeah, I mean, I like him as an actor. I like his accent. I like but as in the movie or in the show when he realized that Wanda like he wasn't a lot or something was up. I was like, man, I love that. It was great that he was holding off. Now I just like him as an actor. I like him as a character too.
Yeah,
He's
Paul
super
Bettany's great.
powerful, but
Yeah.
he's a good guy, but he's super smart. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that so okay, I'll say two different things. My favorite character was Jimmy or whatever. I like Randall Park, always
Okay.
did or whatever. I know he wasn't a huge character, but he's funny, quirky. He plays his part. I like Jimmy
Yeah.
or whatever like
So
that.
are you
Um,
liking him on Young Rock?
I like him on Young Rock. I like them on Fresh Off the Boat. I don't know if you ever seen that show or whatever like
Mm,
that. He was good on that, but I know you didn't see that. But anyway, he's good in that. So I like Randall Park. And I like
okay.
him in Ant-Man. I like him in Ant-Man as well, or whatever
Yeah.
like that. So he was in Ant-Man too. So I like
Nice.
him in that. But as far as who I think did the best, I'm gonna go with Elizabeth Olsen or whatever,
Mhm.
Wanda. Like I thought her acting, I didn't know her acting was as good as it is or whatever like that until
Mhm.
this show. Like every single sitcom era, she played that shit perfect or
Yeah,
whatever.
she really did.
The housewife, with the making dinner with the hair to the 70s, all the way down to the new age when she was like the modern family, like
Right.
talking to the camera type stuff. I thought that was good. All her emotional scenes, I felt her emotion. I felt her power when she had to be
Right.
powerful or whatever like that. Like I think that she was almost flawless throughout this show as an actress. So I felt like that for that, like she was my favorite person to see on screen or whatnot. And
Definitely.
Paul Bettany was good too as Vision. He's great. I feel like he didn't have as many scenes as Wanda
Mhm.
as well. Also because you remember they did a flashback for Wanda, which he had to go back in time and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
um, and it was kind of her origin story, like E was saying. But also, I think sometimes the makeup kind of mask how good he's doing too, as well, stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah. That's
So
true. Yeah, I liked Wanda. I said she reminds me of a live action Powerpuff Girl. She got these big eyes, like her facial expressions. I said that to my wife earlier. But here, let's jump into these comments before they get away with
yeah.
us. Um, Double Impact. Thank you very much, E. I said double team.
Oh wow.
Um, let's see. Double Team was the movie with Dennis Rodman, but Double Impact was
Yeah.
when they was the twins. Oh, Ian, sorry earlier where I didn't read your comment. I thought that was
I
a
think you're
comment
right.
that you said already. So my bad about that. Let's see, where are we at? So he said double impact. Oh yeah, and the Stadia Pro did say it was Vision's rebuilt without the Mind Stone. It was Vision's body. I thought she was going to merge them. Yeah. So let's see. He said double impact. Oh, Ryzak, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Ryzak is the newest member of the Stadia Bash Community Network. And Ryzak, you stream on Thursdays, I believe, which is pretty cool. And you had a great stream, man. Thanks for joining. And we're supposed to stream together tonight.
Mm.
He said, I got no idea what you guys are talking about, but I'm in the building. All right, cool. Well, if you don't plan on watching the show, or if you plan on watching the show, you might want to exit the building. But it's still a good show. I think you'll still enjoy it.
Right.
Stadia Pro Gaming said for a second there, I thought Wanda was going to shrink her force field all the way down to her house's foundation, and keep it there, and they were going to stay in the house. I thought that would have been kind of silly because you would have had people driving down the street and just see this little small force field over just a little house. I don't think the government would have let that slide.
Mm-mm.
Even yeah. Doesn't always work that way, Cowboy. I'm excited for a Walking Dead movie. Listen, I'll be excited for that too. I mean, they've been talking about that to do Rick's story. Dan said my favorite was Mexican Ross from Friends. Uh, yeah, I don't know. You elaborate on that one, Dan. Stay Pro said my favorite characters, the new and improved Wanda Scarlet Witch. Yeah,
Mm.
man.
She's
Um,
dope.
And he said her reverting to herself, placed and create the perfect family in the image she thought would be perfect was really done very well. That is true. And I seen it didn't get ruined, but I seen somebody said, "Man, the last episode was so sad," and I was like, "Uh-oh." But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, getting rid of your kids that you created,
Yeah.
would be pretty sad. Um, let's see. Ray is back. Thanks for jumping back, brother. Dan said, by the way, for anyone wondering who Mexican Ross from Friends is, Google David Lengel. Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see. North Carolina in the house. Ryzak is in. Dan said he was one of the townspeople who kept popping up from time to time. Oh, you probably. I know what you're talking about. That dude had a real thick mustache, probably.
Oh, the
Because
one who was reading the paper and stuff like that. I got you. Oh, the
yeah,
one who was like that was my grandma's piano in the beginning. I got you.
yeah, because he kind of looked like Ross from
He
Friends.
does.
He
He
could be
does actually.
wrong. Dan might
Yeah.
be like, no, that's not the guy, but that's what I think you're talking about. Stadia Pro says, so then what happened at Agatha's then? And yeah.
What happened to Agatha? He was saying.
Huh?
He's saying what happened to Agatha. We can get into Agatha now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So, okay. So when the reveal came, first of all, I love that Agatha is all along. I love that. So that was in my head for like a week, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, whatever. So, but when the reveal came, were you surprised or how did
I was, because they had me beat over the head. I thought she was just like the quirky neighbor. Like I didn't see nothing big coming out of her.
Yo, I wish I was you, man. They talked about her being Agatha, because Agatha's in the comics, Agatha Harkness or whatever like that. Same thing. She's a witch, blah, blah, blah. But they talked about that from episode 1. Like, yeah, that's Agatha. Look at her little approach from the beginning. So it was no surprise at all for me.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah. I seen some memes that like I put a thing about you and me gonna do the show, and somebody said they had a meme of her going by like it's gonna be a gas. Like I seen a couple like pictures, but I didn't catch it, and I just didn't pay too much attention. But so yeah, it did catch me off guard. So
lucky you, man. But well, that's good. Well, I'm supposed to talk to you about it or whatever like that. So I mean, you and your wife, you both were surprised about it?
Yeah, we both was like, oh snap.
Got you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So how do you like her as a villain and stuff like that?
You know what? It's something about her that's not serious and not threatening. So that was the only hard thing for me. She dialed in the sitcom thing so hard that it was hard for me to take her too serious. Like she was so silly for so long. And then when she was the villain, I was like, oh, that was a cool swerve. But even when she was flying in the air, I just could never take her as serious. She wasn't menacing to me. She wasn't scary to me. Nowhere did I feel like she was going to get the best of the Scarlet Witch, you know.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
it was a good like it was a cool like, oh whoa, but it was also like she was too silly, too funny, too, I don't know. She did too good of a job at just being not serious. So I just couldn't take her serious.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I knew, and I know it was coming, so I never took her that serious as the quirky neighbor.
Right, the whole time you're looking at her like, oh, she gonna be a beast.
Right.
And I was like, what? Her? All right.
There's a difference or whatever.
Yeah.
But when she finally got revealed, unless I wasn't surprised, but as a villain or whatever, I like what she served or whatever. I think she did serve the role to kind of unleash what Wanda was going to ultimately be, the Scarlet Witch, and taught her more about the witchcraft aspect that she didn't even know about herself. Because when you think about it, like, we met her in Age of Ultron when she just got really, not her powers, but unleashed her powers with the Mind Stone and stuff like that. So, because when you look at her now, you're like, yo, you could have beat Ultron, Thanos, everybody. What the fuck? Whatever like that. But
when in Endgame, I was like, yo, Endgame is really what made me be like, she's serious.
Yeah, but now I feel like she's got more control of her powers, but she didn't back then and stuff.
Oh yeah, she's above and beyond of that. So
yeah. I know, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like Agatha helped pull that out. So I feel like she did serve her role, and I love the end how like Agatha was like, "You're gonna need me," and Wanda was like, "Yeah, I might, but I know where you at if I need you," and stuff like that. So I kind of like how they ended it or whatever like that. So
now, what did you think about them going back in the past for Agatha? They did the whole thing with her mom and all of that, and she sucked everybody powers. And then Wanda said to her, "See, the difference between you and me is you did this on purpose or whatever." Like meaning that like she wanted to be evil and drain people of their powers and all that.
I think that excuse me. I think it was good. I like world building. I love seeing a person's stories and where they come from, how they
Origin,
got
character
there.
development, yes.
Yeah, character development. So I like that. Even like I'm going back in time with Wanda and showing the part that and when her parents got killed. Because remember, we heard that story back in Age of Ultron, but now we got to see it visually.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, the connection. So in Age of Ultron, Wanda said, "We hate Stark because the bomb blew up our parents, and we had to sit there and watch that bomb with Stark's name on it." Now we got to see it.
Yes.
So
And here's what's crazy. If anything, this is the coolest thing to show. I always felt Age of Ultron was lackluster and wasn't that great. Now I'm like, this show brought up Age of Ultron the most out of any other movies, and I'm like, bro, I want to watch Age of Ultron again.
right.
I want to see Age of Ultron again. Now I'm more invested in Age of Ultron. Like I want to watch a movie I didn't care too much about again.
I agree, because you see more. You start to understand, like, okay, what was their motivation? How they got to where they were.
I just want to see her again. Like, oh, in the beginning, oh yeah, let me see her and Quicksilver again. And
right. So I think that was dope. And even the part about the sitcoms, you see, watch like sitcoms.
Right.
Her dad, watch movies, stuff like that. She was watching them at the when she was a prisoner or whatever she was, stuff like that. And then watching them again in the Avengers compound. So she loved these sitcoms and whatnot. So you kind of see it and stuff like that. So I like but going back to Agatha, I like that. I like her motivation of like trying to get Wanda's power because she felt like she didn't deserve it.
Right.
And that's what she did. She stole powers. Now, if she would have got the power, I wonder what she would have did with it and whatnot, because she kind of was mad about Wanda using it to make a place for her family or whatever like that. But I did like that part of it.
My only thing with her, she felt to me like a Disney villain, like the bad villain, but this is a cartoon, so you just don't take her that serious. It was just hard for me to be afraid, like feel like, oh man, she's like, I don't know.
I think she was. How do I want to say it? I didn't expect more because it is a TV show at the end of the day, or whatever like that. And it's a TV show on Disney Plus, so I did not expect her to be as crazy menacing, I guess, as you would expect some other people to be, or whatever. Like I didn't expect her to have like be Killmonger or Loki or something.
Well, it's not even that. I just feel like she laughed almost every time you seen her. She had a smile on her face. She was just so.
But those are witches, though. Witches always laughing. That's what they do.
Yeah, but there's some mean witches, man. Nothing about her was mean. She was just like careful. I was like, she was, and for so long in the show, she was the guy that.
That's the part. And I said that's the part that got you. The neighbor part. I think if you would have known, it would have been different for you. Whatever, like. Or whatnot, because I was looking at her like, oh, this bitch is, whatever. But you're looking at her like, this lady's funny neighbor or whatever like that. Yeah. It's crazy. And you know what's crazy? Watching this show and watching the extra stuff, and then watching the end of it, how people were disappointed, and then the director of the whole series, he came out before the last episode and he said, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed because of their fan theories and whatnot.
Oh wow.
But he was like that because even down to the last episode, they still thought Agatha wasn't the one. They thought she had a boss or whatever, like Mephisto or Nightmare or somebody like that. And he was like, he said that, well, how do you have a show for 8 episodes and then out of nowhere it's a new guy?
Yep.
You're gonna want the person that you've been seeing for the whole time to be the villain, not some random it was me. Like the last episode. Like that's kind of a bad twist.
You'd have complained about that more, trust me. Like, no character development at all. This is trash.
Right, that's what I'm saying or whatever. So I feel like that was the problem. But what I was gonna say is that watching this show makes me it made me think a lot, because I feel like Marvel just made a show, right? And you
Right.
watch a show that Marvel made, and it was just like cool to you. You watch it develop, and you watch the surprise. You were surprised by the surprise,
Right.
all of it. But the people who, the bigger nerds, I would say, who do the fan
Right.
theories and the video stuff like that, they were so disappointed and wanted so much more. And it made me think, I wonder when Feige and them made this show, it feels like they didn't make of it thinking of those people, the fan
Right.
theory.
Yeah, it was like, who did they make it for? Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it feel
interesting.
like they just made it to make
Because
it.
we always say this, you make a movie and it's hard to cater to people, but you got a whole TV show, you really could have catered more to people. But for me, it was good enough. But for maybe those people, they probably maybe should have went so out there, but then maybe they would have lost you and me. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's so funny because I listened to you and how you were so surprised about Agatha, let's say. Let's use
Right.
her for example. But I watched the video yesterday, and the guy was just like, yo, this show was sucked or whatever. He was like, your big thing was Agatha. We all knew it was Agatha the whole time. So it's funny that you
Right.
say that and he says that, and
Right.
he's like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But that's his own fault, because he was doing so much background
Right.
and theorists and stuff like that. So he
Right.
never was surprised by
So
the
he
whole.
didn't get a twist. Yeah, you never got the you screwed yourself out of the twist. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
then one another twist that was never going to be there. That's the problem with
Yeah.
whatnot. Uh,
Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you about. Let's talk about the action.
right.
But especially because it was a TV show, not a movie. But let's get in right before that though. Let's look at the comments again. Let's see. Let's see. Ray said Agatha is sexy. LOL. Dan said, yeah, he's the one. Okay, cool. About the guy with the mustache. He does look like him with a mustache. That's funny. With a real thick mustache.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Ray said, awesome. Ryzak said, Ray, you notice, and then Agatha's back. Let's see. Ray said, "Who is more powerful, Scarlet Witch or Miss Marvel?" I will have to take Miss. Well, that's kind of hard. I want to say Miss
I'm saying
Marvel, but
Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was the girl that's from your
oh
game,
yeah,
right?
he's probably thinking about Captain Marvel. But
Okay.
I would like to say Captain Marvel, but then again, she's a witch, so she got witchcraft. So that's a toss up. But
I'm going with Captain
I'm gonna
Marvel.
lead with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Actually, even if you look it up, Captain Marvel is
Captain Marvel
a
can fly with no spaceship everywhere across the whole
galaxy.
galaxy or
Yeah,
whatever. Like,
she's on another level, another level.
yeah.
Stadia Pro said, what she's doing at the end of the show as the Scarlet Witch, which is exactly like what Doctor Strange did. She can leave in an entire lifetime in a moment, and she was using that to study the book. That is pretty deep when you think about it. Ray said, "I want Doctor Strange the Eye of
Agamotto.
Agamotto pendant." Okay, and then Stadia said, so cool."
That is a dope pendant, though. The one that opens up the
Yeah,
eyes,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty dope or whatever like that. Yeah, she's studying that Darkhold book. I don't know. I mean, earlier comments said I think it's the book that was in the Sanctum Sanctorum or whatever. I don't know if the book came from there, but that if that twist happened, because they're right, it's Doctor Strange's first movie. He's in the library, and
Mhm.
there's one book missing. If that's the book, oh man, marvelous. Yo, I'm telling you, yo,
Wow.
because like Doctor Strange came out in 2016, bro. It's 5 years
Right,
later already. Like,
right,
come on, that would
right.
be, man. I'd be like, yo, DC, you have no chance.
Yeah, right. Like that one moment, DC is done. That one moment.
That's what
The
I'm saying.
movie 5 years ago, TV show, book, movie, it's over. It's a wrap.
Right, because it's like, did y'all had this in your mind already? Like, why was there a
Yeah.
book missing in the first? You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy or whatever like that. But
Yeah. Well, hold
anyway,
on, real quick before we get into the action, bro. What about Here's what's cool: the fact that it's all connected and they have the rights, right? Because usually
yeah,
you have a TV show and they can't really show like the DC shows, right? The DC shows, they're all different actors. They can't show video from the movies. You see them show Thanos and all that in flashbacks. I'm like, this is awesome. It's a TV show and they're showing them stuff from the movies.
yeah, and that's the thing. I like the continuity. Like DC got 55 Supermen and shit like that. Like, you don't know what the fuck they doing or whatever. I'm sorry, but they got a
Yeah,
new show now, Superman and Lois. It just came out or
right,
whatever. Then they got a Superman here and the Black Superman coming. It's like, how many Superman you gonna have? You know what I
right.
mean? Like, it's just so much whatever. So I like, and even Marvel. I mean, they got Batman, Ben Affleck. We about to watch him this month in the Snyder cut, but then you got the new one with Robert Pattinson coming out next. It's like, what the hell? Y'all got no continuity.
Y'all got to get it together. I said to you before, like they just need to say, listen, we make standalone movies and they don't connect, and
right,
maybe some might, and leave it
right, and leave it at that, or whatever,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But
yeah, I like that. But I think that is dope because what you're saying is something DC probably could have did but didn't do. Where like their TV show actors are the same actors going to be in the movies or whatever. You don't have to worry about I got a Flash TV show, but a Flash in the movies and blah blah blah, whatever like that. So I think that's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Real quick, let's get into the action. So watching the show, it's no action. At first, it's whatever. But then when they started banging, they started fighting and flying. I was like, oh man, we got some Dragon Ball Z stuff going on. We get that more. I mean, I'm watching it and it's a show, so in my head, I'm still looking like something looks a little off. If this was in the movies, would it be a little extra? But
I don't know,
cool,
bro.
man. They
It
was
looked
hitting
pretty good to me.
hard.
Remember, they spent $25 million per episode for this show, and when I watched those fight scenes and the VFX and all stuff, I could see where the money went to or stuff like that. Like, I thought the fight with Vision, like when they were like they knew each other's moves so good, and they were phasing and moving and stuff like that. And like you said, it was like a Dragon Ball Z type in the air, just banging out. Even that first scene where the white Vision comes and try to squeeze into her head, and then the other Vision comes and knocks him through the fire. Oh man, I thought that was pretty dope or whatever like that. The Agatha when Scarlet Witch threw the car at her, and then you see the scene, the callback to the Wizard of Oz with the boots under the car.
Just seen the boots.
Yeah. I thought that was dope. I thought it was a great fight.
You know what I say this when I watched it and talking about money they spent, I think they made sure that the outfit she wore as a Scarlet Witch, that will be the outfit she will wear in the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, like that outfit, you could tell they spent money. Like it looked like this was a movie outfit.
Yes. Yes.
They want to make sure when you see her next, she will be wearing this. Like this will be her outfit.
Yeah, it looks like it was a long time payoff because in the beginning she was wearing like a red jacket or some shit, whatever, and you know what I mean, jeans or whatever. But now it's like, all right, we're gonna make her the true Scarlet Witch because I felt like that for sometimes people who are comic book fans aren't the same as movie fans. So the comic book fans, we want to see the comic book outfits, stuff like that. Where the movie fans are like, that looks stupid or whatever like that.
That's
Even
true.
if you go back to the X-Men, right? They was wearing black outfits instead of their comic book.
Bro, because listen, I'm a comic book fan, I'm a movie fan, but Wolverine would have looked dumb as hell wearing that tight yellow and blue outfit. I don't know, on something on screen wouldn't have had a good payoff.
Yeah, so we never seen the X-Men in their X-Men outfits or whatever. None of them. You didn't see Cyclops in his blue. You didn't see, none of them or whatever like that. They always had on matching black thing because they thought, fans wouldn't like that. So I do like that finally we got a fan outfit from the comics that even the fans agree on.
Yes and no. Because remember earlier on Halloween, she was wearing what she would have looked like.
Yeah.
So would you have wanted her wear that or wear it at the end? Let's be real. Because at the end was dope. And I was wondering like how they was gonna do it. So they made like this crown or like not crown, but the thing on her head kind of like phases in kind of sort of like that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, we know now what was dope is that they explained she can create anything. So she could create the outfit on herself with the crown, and even have it be physical or whatever like that. So I think that's dope because what was explained that she could do that. So I think that's dope. Remember we were talking about Wonder Woman and how that one scene where she's in the car and then she got an outfit on. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro, that did throw us both for a loop. I was like,
where outfit come from? Whatever, right? But at least Scarlet Witch, we know she can make stuff out of nothing, so that makes more sense. But I mean, I get the point, or whatever. I just think it's dope that we finally do get an outfit and stuff like that. I mean, Vision was his pretty much comic book outfit a lot of the time, and they kind of upgraded it a little bit. But other people, actually, you know what? Marvel has done pretty good at that throughout the year. When I think about it, or whatever. Yeah, it's just been really like earlier stuff like X-Men or whatever like that. They didn't do it, but now it's Thor, Iron Man, Cap, like they're all the regular stuff or whatever like that. You think about it, so She might have been the last one who wasn't, to be honest with you, or whatever. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've been doing pretty good too. I want to go over. Let's see if there's any last.
Well, hold on. One more thing before we go. The kids. Let's talk about the kids for a second.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, which haven't gotten to. So, what did you think of the kids? How they were formed? When they got their powers, all that stuff.
Yep. So she's pregnant out of nowhere, and like next episode, she has kids, and then a couple minutes later, they're like 4 and 5 or 5 years old.
Right.
And then next thing you know, they're like, older.
Yeah.
I thought it was really weird, but then it really sold it because the show didn't have but so many episodes. So it was just perfect. It made sense. It's all in her mind anyway. I think they used 2 cool kids. I think it was cool that one had, he was fast, so he had his uncle's, powers. And then and then the other kid has more of her powers, or at least could kind of see things and feel things. I thought the kids was okay. What it ties me back into is what story are they taking this from? Because Quicksilver is supposed to be Magneto's son, so I'm curious on what story this is from.
Well, the kids are from the comics because they are her actual kids. They become Wiccan and Speed, in the comic books, stuff like that.
Okay,
they do have the same powers that you see. And in the show, what they did was they kept them. The Halloween outfits were their comic book outfits actually.
Oh wow!
And even after that, they kept them in the same colors that they have in the because so that green that he had on the green jumpsuit, he wears green in the comics all the time.
Okay, that's cool.
The other one with the blue and red and stuff like that. So. So that was dope, and those, like I said, those are their powers. So they eventually become in the Young Avengers and whatnot.
Oh, that's cool.
So what they're doing, Marvel, is they're setting that up for like Phase 5, the Young Avengers. So because the kids are going to come back and whatnot.
Yeah, but so that's weird because the fake kids that was never real are gonna come back in the real world.
Well, if you heard the end of the show, the last thing, you heard the kids calling for her when she's reading that book.
Yeah,
like that. So I think somehow the kids are going to come back.
Well, think about it. If she could make her clothes, then
right.
Go ahead, make 2 kids.
But they're definitely setting that up. Little by little. Again, they're doing that too with the
Right.
What's the girl? She's on the video game now. With the arrows.
Talking about Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. She's gonna be a part of Young Avengers too because she's gonna be in the Hawkeye show, and he's gonna train her. Like the way he's trained, and they're setting up little by little. Your girl, Miss Marvel, same thing or whatever. They're gonna put her in the Young Avengers. So I think they're building it up to make that movie because right now it wouldn't probably be something big, but if they build it up little by little, let's see those
take
kids.
Some time, because they're gonna do great with these TV shows. So we could have a lot of space. We could have sometimes you're like, man, when is the next Marvel movie coming out? Oh, you're gonna have a TV show that's gonna last a couple weeks and last couple months, and then another show, and then you could drop a movie and
Yeah, well, Marvel's supposed to be having 4 movies per year for the next few years.
Okay.
But between 4 movies and TV shows, you're gonna be all Marvel all the time, whatever like that. So
I love it.
Me too, bro. I love it.
Let me ask you this: did you hear? I don't know what story or whatever, but did you hear that Quicksilver was Magneto's son?
Yeah. But it said it. They even said it in the X-Men movie. They said that or whatever like that. Well, they kind of alluded to it, but
but is Scarlet Witch his daughter? Because I never heard
it's
that.
Different stories. Sometimes they're his twins or whatever. You know what's crazy? They were always twins though, or whatever. So that is weird.
For some reason, I never heard she was, but I heard he was. But
but he would have to be because they're always twins.
Right.
No matter how you
if
put
anybody, you super comic book guys, I mean, I got some people I could call on speed dial that can answer that for me. But if you guys know, let me know.
Yeah. But I think they were going away from that because if you add that into it, it's just too much now. Because then it's like, okay, well,
where's Magneto at all that time?
Right, and stuff like that or whatever. It's just too much. Because here's the problem: is when they first brought Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver to MCU,
Mhm.
they didn't have the rights to the X-Men stuff. So they retcon their story to say like they're not his kids.
Right.
They can't say it now and whatnot because they already changed the
Right.
story at the beginning and whatnot. So it's got to change that, overall.
I mean, look at where he lived at in his time. He could easily had a kid, and like they took the kids from him, or he didn't know he had a kid, or we could.
Could be, yeah, and the kid, and they were adopted by these
Yeah,
Sokovia people or some shit like that.
we could write that in there. Don't worry about that part. We could do that.
I mean, I guess, but
Yeah.
either way or whatever, I did hear that before, but I don't think they're gonna do that now and whatnot.
Right.
I think her next step because so they're supposed to all tie into each other. So Wanda Vision's is going to tie into Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
What is it called now? Homesick. What home something. Anyway, Spider-Man 3 whatever. And then that's going to tie into the next Doctor Strange movie because
Right.
Doctor Strange is supposed to be in Spider-Man 3 and whatnot. And then that'll go to the multiverse of madness. So I don't know like how it's going to tie it all together.
But yeah, they're gonna pull it off. I got a feeling.
Oh, they're gonna pull it off.
So let me ask you this: when the heck are we getting Black Widow, man? We got a date?
It's still scheduled for May 4th right now. They didn't change it yet or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, right, they got time, but Marvel is really set on like not having a like Wonder Woman, like at the house. Marvel really wants their theatrical release or whatever like that. Like they not, and I don't blame them. Like their movies are big, so I get it and whatnot. Like
I agree too.
Because
I'm not watching it at home.
I do think that no matter how you slice it, man, I watch a lot of shows talk about this. It is a different experience, as you already talked about. But I also think the movie gets viewed differently when people watch it at home.
Right.
I think because it's not big or something like that, they don't leave with the same feeling, no matter how good the movie was. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I think Marvel wants people to get that big blockbuster feeling.
Yeah.
No matter what and stuff like that. Yeah, but other stuff, Eternals is coming out in November, and they said Marvel Studios said that to them is the best Marvel movie they've ever done so far. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be like one of those like Guardians of the Galaxy. Unknown characters. That's going to be like wow. This is amazing.
When is Morbius coming out?
I think Morbius is supposed to come out like October. Morbius October, Widow in May, Loki comes out in June right now in the TV show, Spider-Man in December. So that's where we're at now with the stuff.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Let's see these comments real quick. Let's see. Stadia Pro said Chaos Magic. He said at the very end, Wanda was studying. Oh yeah, you already said that. Sorry about that. Let's see. Stadia Pro said hope it ties into the movies. And he said, careful now. There was rumors that Warner Brothers executive gave Batman versus Superman the standing ovation. Listen, I like Batman versus Superman. So, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. So I understand that. So I guess what he's saying is that if they thought the Immortals was so great, some people thought Batman versus Superman was so great. But
I can see that. Well, hopefully the Eternals is good. I'm looking forward to it. They got a good cast too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really love BVS, so I get that. I thought what they did was Wonder Woman in that movie wasn't that good, honestly. But it just didn't kind of make sense to me. And I think that Man of Steel deserved a sequel. That's what I really think.
Man of Steel was great to me.
It deserved a sequel, bro, on its own or whatever like that. I think you could have did BVS after a Man of Steel sequel, a regular sequel or whatever like that. Like this was a weird, like I'm fighting Batman story, not a real sequel. So I feel like that was good. But I get his point though. I'm not just going by that, as well. But
it does give you a little bit excited, like, oh, that's okay, that's cool. That they
I think that. Yeah, how Guardians surprised me and stuff like that. And plus I could see it, like the story that they got in place as far as like the Eternals and how they were like living on Earth all this time, and then something made their power come out. Whatever, I could see that.
Sounds kind of like Power Rangers. Just saying.
I mean,
the most recent Power Ranger movie.
I mean, Power Rangers
regular kids. Then
TV show was dope or whatever. I think that movie was that bad, actually.
I didn't either.
No, I watched it, bro.
Give me a part 2.
Yeah, I think you and I aren't like it's not hard to please when it comes to stuff like that or whatever.
Not
So
really, yeah.
like Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna love that movie when it comes out. So
Can't wait.
I'm gonna need your help on that because I don't like some of these like characters. Like especially because I heard the guy who's the main character might wind up being Reptile or whatever like that. So
That would be crazy.
it would be.
They never gave Reptile a good due. He was just always a side dude. So that would be wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a series or whatever like that.
Mhm.
The whole Mortal Kombat thing because Kano starts out. He doesn't he want to turn it bad, right?
Yeah. And the thing I'm like, why is Kano good? Like,
Right.
all right. Yeah, because I'm watching. I'm like, am I the only one that realized the trailer's making him a good guy? Because I'm like, what's going on here?
Kano was not good, bro.
No.
Whatever like that. So
Sonya's like arch enemy, man.
I do like how they retconning Jax's arm origin or whatever like that. But there's like 3 versions of that I heard. Like,
Yeah. Let me ask you this real quick. What do you think about The Miz? Did you see this? I sent you a thing. The Miz want to play Johnny Cage.
He won't be in this movie, obviously. This was done. But if I don't know, the martial arts part, I don't think he can do that.
So that's what I said. I was talking to my brother about it earlier. I said, here's the issue. They would have to retcon him and make him a wrestler and not a martial artist.
Right.
They could pull that off. But
right.
the fans might be a little annoyed if they did that. But that would be the perfect way to do it. I don't want to see the Miz acting like he could fight. I know he made movies, the Marines and all that. But no, he's not going to be able to pull off that type of martial arts that he could do, that Johnny Cage could do. But if they switched it and made him a wrestler and not a martial artist, he is a pro wrestler.
Cause the thing is that, man, like even the trailer you sent me for the Michael B. Jordan movie or whatever like that, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like the fight scenes, I think it was choreographed, but I could still tell he's not a fighter and whatnot. Like sometimes it's the movies like that are good with actually trained fighters, stuff like that. Whatever, you know what I mean? I think Wesley Snipes was great as Blade because he was already a martial artist.
Yes.
And stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you can just tell the difference between like stunt choreography and a person who this is what they do normally.
The Miz couldn't be a martial artist, but if he was a story that he was a pro wrestler, then I could buy it. But then people would be like, wow, you change. I mean, that's all they really need to change is just his form of combat.
Yeah. Well, he definitely had the story down, the movie star, signing autographs, shit like that. That's all.
That's his personality. That's him.
That's his regular life. Or whatever.
Yeah, like for real. He's an A-lister, like
Yeah. I see it. Yeah. He got the show with his wife or whatever like that now, whatever like that. So yeah. So I can see it. And it's so crazy because I watched him on The Real World when he was on there. Like I did. Like I honestly watched The Real World every episode. So for me to see him like that, it's still crazy to me to this day. So
that's cool. Sorry that we got on a tangent, guys.
Yeah, well, that's what we do, man. But you'll get more of this tomorrow. Big Mike and LittleAnt at 11:30. Please tune in. Lots of topics. We got a special guest or whatever as well.
That's right.
So
a lot of you guys, I didn't publicize it, but I will tonight after the episode's over. But tomorrow's special guest is none other than Spectre, the founder and visionary of the Stadia Bash Community Network. So this is going to be really cool. He's been super excited. He's called me like every day, like, man, I'm going to be a Big Mike LittleAnt. I got my questions. He used to call me today. It was like, I'm going over my questions. I don't know if I need to change. I said, bro, it's going to be cool, man. Just,
Do you have your questions, though?
Just like I told him earlier, I don't have my questions yet, but I will.
Yeah, one job, bro.
I know. But don't worry, I'll be ready.
Okay. Got you. Some more comments here.
Okay.
Where were you at? Where were you? I don't know where you were last at though.
Yeah, I was Racer awesome stream. And then Stadia Pro said, I like the 3-hour cut. The 3-hour cut, the 2.5 hour didn't make sense to me. The one that made it to the theater. So but it's gonna be more than that 3-hour cut. Like they're adding scenes and everything, right? They literally like took stuff.
No, he's talking about BVS, not Justice League. He's talking about Batman vs Superman. I never seen that 3-hour cut. I might want to check. I might want to find that now.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it anyway, so maybe I want to check it too. And then he said, speaking of that, can we all stop and give props? Because without those without those movies, wouldn't exist Blade and the original X-Men. Great show. Yeah, I mean, listen, I always feel like they never give Blade that much credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying that when people talk about, oh, this movie, I'm like, bro, I was.
Well, listen, let's go off topic a little bit about Blade because
Mhm.
Feige just came out, Kevin Feige, and said that Blade will not be rated R. Do you think Blade cannot be rated R? It's going to be a PG-13 movie like all the other Marvel movies. Think about that one for a second. And what are your thoughts in the comments there as well?
See, what I would love to do is see Blade, the new Blade, and feel it was better than the old Blade.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull that off. I feel like the old Blade, yes, it got dumb with Triple H and all that in the third one, but Blade Part 1 and Part 2 was epic. I got this whole thing where Blade Part 1 I love so much. And a friend of mine said, you know, Part 2 is a better movie. I said, no, it isn't. And I watched them back to back. And eventually I was like, he's right. It had better soundtrack. It had a better villain. It had more action. Like everything was better. But I originally watched both of them so many times. Was like, no, Part 1. Like I never battled that much with a Part 1 or Part 2. And it was like, no, I'm wrong. Right? That's how dope Blade is to me. But Blade gives you everything, and to take away that extra layer of probably showing a head get cut off or something, I don't know.
I'm a little worried because let's just talk about what Blade is. It's a vampire story, right? And I haven't really seen. I guess you can go with Twilight, I guess, but
A vampire movie without blood.
yeah, or
Right.
it's like rated PG and stuff like that. Like it's tough or whatever like that. So, vampires are known for what? Sex and blood. That's what they
Yep.
do. You know what I mean? And violence, right? Like I'm saying. So it's weird to me to do that story without that. I guess what they can do is make whoever the villains are like gory monsters and shit like
Right.
that, don't really bleed like the alien type, I guess, like that or something.
Right.
I don't know. But either way, I just think that's I don't know if it can be great. I'm not saying it can't be good, but I'm a little skeptical already, knowing it's not going to be
Yeah.
rated R from what it is.
Yeah.
I think Blade was so edgy the first one, like you said. But
Yes,
go ahead.
that's the thing. I feel like it sets me off a little bit to hear that. But you know me, I'm gonna go into it gun ho and be excited for it. But they're gonna have to be clever with their scenes. That's all. They're gonna have to make it super violence because Blade has super violence, right?
Right.
But they're gonna have to be crafty, I guess, to be able to get away with it.
Yeah. They're gonna have to do that because what Marvel does, like if you look at the Raiders from the Thanos movie, they're like not real, so you can kill all those you want to or whatever
Right.
like that. It's still PG-13. Same thing with the aliens from the first movie or the robots from Ultron, right? They're all robots,
Right.
so you can tear them up or whatever like that. So it's good, and even like if you look at Transformers, like those Optimus Prime scenes were deadly,
Intense. Yeah.
but they're robots,
They're robots,
so
yeah.
they don't care.
But let's look at this though. Are we gonna miss the feeling we got when they made the Old Man Wolverine movie and it was so violent and you was like, where have this been at all this time?
That's what I'm saying. Like Logan, you talk about Logan was great. That's in my top 10, I think, or whatever. Like Logan was amazing. So, I don't know. Like now, Mahershala Ali, I love him as an actor. I think he's great. I'm a little worried too. He's not a martial artist like Wesley Snipes was. However, but again, I think
But
choreography can make him good.
let me just
Whatever.
say this. Guys, don't kill me. But I ain't gonna lie to you. The Sticky Fingers was my dude as Blade for the TV show. And he wasn't a
Uh,
martial artist. I ain't gonna lie to
I
you.
knew there was a TV show, bro.
Yeah, Sticky Finger, bro, from the locks, like
Yeah, from
Sticky Fingers.
Onyx.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he was Blade, and he did
Okay.
his thing. I was
Okay.
into the TV show.
Got you. Okay, I gotta go
He's
back
not a
to
martial
that.
artist. I mean, they go on record, how many times you say Sticky Finger got knocked out by the guy on MTV, but in the one rap. But
Got you.
yeah, he did his thing. So
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it has to be that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But I guess because I'm so used to Wesley Snipes doing it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like Wesley Snipes was so fluid with it because what he normally does, stuff like that. So it was dope. And it's crazy because I mean the rated R thing, like I said, we'll see.
right.
But I did like Logan, like you said, and what they did with that and
Right.
whatnot. So
One last thing with choreography. is, as we know, my favorite martial artist. Well, he really wasn't a martial artist, was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right.
And I don't watch a million of his movies, and he's kicking butt, but he really was never a martial artist at first. So
that's true. But did he become a martial artist though?
I don't know if he ever did, but
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I guess if you got the people behind you and you flexible, that's the thing. He was super flexible. So
Yeah.
he made it look easy. I mean, doing the
Right.
splits and all that. But everybody did joke the way he punched. Like they did always say, like, who the hell punches like that? So that's kind of like,
Gotcha.
then people found out like, oh, he's not a martial artist. Like that's why his punches look terrible.
Yeah. We need more of that too. We need more martial artists like making movies and stuff like that. Like I don't think we get that enough like we used to. We had Steven Seagal, we had Jackie Chan, we had Jet Li, we have Jean-Claude Van Damme.
My dude is the only person hanging in there is Jason Statham.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Like and his movies are starting to become low budget, where you just
right. Right. We need to bring that back, man, because you were like ant for the new whatever movie and stuff like that back then. So I think we need to bring that back, man. But listen, let's bring it all the way back to Wanda Vision. I want to keep you guys all night. We appreciate the guys for watching, who hasn't watched it. So listen, man. We talked about it. Talked about the villains, the heroes, the kids, the outside people. So as a series, how would you rate the show and whatnot?
Here's what's cool. The fact that I disliked the first 3 episodes made the show so much more better for me. So obviously somebody knew what they was doing, right? As much as I complain, I love the underdog. I love the down and the up, right? And the fact that I usually say I don't give credit to a movie that does a lot for something that hasn't come yet. But in this case, because it's a TV show, that's what it was made to do. I don't have much to complain about. WandaVision is going to get a solid 9 from me.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm giving it a 9.
And it also did something for movies that came before, like Age of Ultron and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that's dope.
I could watch it again.
Yeah, me too. I would actually probably give it a, I'm a half guy and whatnot. So the only thing is hard, man. It's so hard. Yeah. It was so good to me or whatever. It's like I'm crazy because I'm crazy as hell because I knew a lot of the twists and was reading the fan theories and it didn't happen, but I wasn't disappointed about it still. I still was very entertained.
That's what's cool about you.
Yeah. So
I give you a lot of credit for that, for not allowing people to ruin it for you because of their upset. Yeah.
Right, and their expectations that never happened and stuff like that, or whatever like that. So for me, I would still go 9.5. I'm gonna stamp it 9.5.
Okay, brother. Now let me ask you, just a prediction. Do you think it's possible a couple months from now, when we're rating Falcon Winter Soldier, this could be rated as high, not higher, but as high? Or you're like, do you feel like, nah, there's no way they're gonna be able to get me to give them a 9.5?
Right now, I don't see it. No, I think I'll be highly entertained or whatever like that. But I don't know. I don't want to go to. I don't think I'm gonna be as mind blown as I am with WandaVision or whatever like that, stuff like that.
Now they might sucker me with the whole action. I'm an action dude, so they might get me being like, hey man, every episode was explosions and flying.
Well, I will say this though. They're doing 6 episodes, 6 1-hour episodes rather than 9 short episodes like we got with WandaVision. So so that might be big actually to have it for a whole hour. But it also could be a lot of filler in that hour. So that's the thing.
See, I was gonna say that. Honestly, I'm more into the shorter episode and give me more if that's the case, because I feel like I watched it longer and it got the build up longer.
Right.
What I don't like is when I'm like, dang, it's over already.
Yeah.
Like when the boys like came and gone. Or I told myself, don't do it. I said, Anthony, do not watch Cobra Kai straight off. And we
told you. I told you that
day. I told myself I won't do it, and we watched every episode the same day.
Now it's going for a year. Like
that's gone for a year. I was already complaining like 3 months ago, like, oh, when the show's coming, and I watched it all in one day.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that. I like even if it is a binge show, I'll stretch it out for weeks on
Yeah.
purpose. I'll watch other stuff in between it because I'm like, yo, I don't like that feeling of it going being
Right.
gone so fast and
Yeah.
whatnot. Like that
So my
kind of
point
bothers
is, it might be 6-hour episodes, right? But maybe I would want it to be 9 shorter ones. I don't know.
me. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that definitely. Yeah. I didn't watch Cobra Kai yet. I still got. I got. But see, I'm good because I got 3 seasons to watch now.
That's what's up.
So
Yeah.
that'll keep me busy for 5 months. Whatever.
That's what's up. I'm jealous of you. I might have to
What?
that.
I think wasn't somebody started last week? I think was Mr. Overworld. Somebody started last
Yeah,
week.
it was Mr. Urban. Yep. Yeah.
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 Gotcha. Yeah. I wonder how he's liking it so far. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
He was just earlier today. He told me he was watching the episode. Yeah.
Okay.
And he is liking it a lot. Let's see. All right, so we just jump in here real quick, guys, before we go. Who's talking about Speedy from Gonzalez? What?
Yeah, you were up there. Great show, I think, with the last one we had.
Yeah, great show. Bro, Speedy Gonzalez is trending on Twitter. Ban Speedy Gonzalez.
Wow.
What? All right, Wesley Snipes. Oh, is that because of the Space Jam movie? Does that have something to do with
Is
Speedy?
he in Space Jam?
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I just figure he's isn't he like part of the Looney Tunes, right? Or the
He
that
is.
yeah,
I don't
so
know.
I don't know why. What's the ban Speedy Gonzalez? Wesley Snipes. Oh no, ban Speedy Gonzalez. Although they could get away with a lot more extreme violence today than they could, then so maybe if maybe it ain't gonna make a difference. Nah, it's a difference, bro. Blade was uncut and R-rated. You just felt like Blade went in there. There ain't no way they're gonna be able to make a PG-13 movie like the Blades where we watch. No way. No way. No way. Heads was
Yo,
rolling
this
all
is
the
getting
time.
crazy, man. My God. All right,
What,
go ahead. I'm
Speedy
listening.
Gonzalez?
Yeah.
What does it even have to do with? Well, let me read these.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Blade is the man. You could have Blade go down low and and suck. LOL. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. He was okay as Blade. Stadia Pros laughing. Sticky fingers. Oops. I mean, sticky. Yep. Uh, Ray give it an 8. Stadia Pro give it an 8 out of 10. Stadia Pro said, with the TV show, you can simmer with a character and really have some character development, character arcs. It's fantastic spending more time with Wanda. That is true. E Money said, I love the last and end credit scene. E Money, you got to let us know what you rate it, man. 1 to 10.
Mm-mm.
All right, what's
Yeah,
the Speedy Gonzalez thing?
No. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna get into that, whatever, like that. But it said he was offensive. But then I was like, they tried to they canceled Pepe Le Pew. They said he normalized rape or whatever, like that. So I'm like, yo, the internet is crazy, yo. They always
Oh man. Yo, what world do we I'm telling you, we live in the what we call it? I be messing around at work, because they was like, oh, you short and you don't have no hair. And I'm like, yo, you ball shaming me. You short shaming me. Like everything is like if y'all don't grow some balls,
it's crazy, bro. Like, I mean, it's a cartoon for God's sakes, or whatever, like
right?
that. Like, God damn, or whatever, like that. That's like now. I don't know if you've seen this. So the Gen Z, it's off topic, but whatever. But the Gen Z population, which is the new age,
Okay.
are trying to cancel Eminem again, and then the generation the
X.
millennials before that are saying we tried it don't work or whatever like that, right? So they tried it, but the Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem based off his lyrics from his first 2 albums when he was talking about his wife and stuff like
When
that.
he wasn't born.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Listen, bro, ain't nobody canceling Eminem. If Eminem drop an album tomorrow, people buying that album. People gonna allow him to play in stadiums when we get back to normal. You ain't getting rid of
but I mean, bro, how we can go back to the 50s and look at a doo-wop song about fucking rapers,
it. You're
whatever.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
we
you're
can't
right.
go cancel all old music because the person said this shit
Right.
20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Like, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen, I'll tell y'all a little secret. Hate me if you want, but if an RF Kelly song come on, I'm rocking. My man had some hits. Now I ain't saying he could come over my house and drink no ice, no lemonade. All right, but if his song come on, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying you can decipher lyrics from every generation and every era and go
Yeah.
back and cancel stuff like that. Like I just don't feel like that's unless you're gonna listen to every album from every person, that's ridiculous. Even this shit, Decrepit the Pew and Speedy Gonzalez. Like, come on.
I'm done, yo. Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
but guys, thanks for tuning in, man. Wait, hold up. Did E-Money, we wanted you to rate your thing, man. Stadia Pro said it's effing cartoon, Twilight Zone. And Stadia Pro said, "Oh, we know, man. That was your favorite jam in prison." This guy, here we go. And Ray said, "Me too. R. Kelly helped me out with the girls back in the days." LOL. Ray, not for nothing. R. Kelly helped me out with your mom. So, But we ain't gonna get into that. People don't know about that.
No, we don't. We don't. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Bro, you guys see it. We do a show, him and I. His gimmick is he's a gaming cyborg. I'm the gaming cowboy. So
I watched it with the referee guy. Yeah.
So we talk about each other moms.
That was him?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched it. Yeah. The guy, the referee had the mustache or whatever.
Yeah,
like
the referee is Stadia Pro that's in this now.
Oh,
and Ray's the other guy, and the three of us we do our show. Yeah,
I watched it the other day. Yeah, I was into
cool,
it.
Yeah, we got 6 episodes now. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we do is the main episode is where we actually go a game versus game, but then we got filler episodes where we like hype up what game we talk about which game, or we challenge each other. Like, I'm gonna pick this game, you pick this game. So it's pretty cool.
So who's winning right now?
He won 2 back to back, but
okay.
No.
Okay. Well, he probably didn't cheat then.
No, you gotta see it, man. He wanted me to pick Pac-Man, and he picked Mortal Kombat, and it was really good. I had to hype up Pac-Man, but I figure since I'm so good at both of them, I end up putting on a Mortal Kombat mask, and I was hyping up Mortal Kombat too, but the crowd was still like, bro, hype up your own game, don't hype up both. I thought it was clever to hype up the game that I felt like I could hype it up better than him during the episode.
He sets you up, bro. You got to come back, bro.
I will, don't worry.
Hey, keep on beating him, right? Keep beating him.
Whatever, man. But, guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember, tomorrow morning, 11 p.m. Eastern time, we will 11. Did I just say 11 p.m. Eastern?
11:30 a.m. Yes.
As I said, tomorrow morning. Morning, 11 a.m. Eastern.
11:30 a.m. Eastern.
Tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Come check us out. Live episode, Big Mike, Little Ant, episode 26. Special guest, Spectre. He is going to have 2 questions. Mike's going to have 2 questions. I'm going to have 2 questions. We're going to have a ball. It's going to be awesome.
All right. Well, for that, it's our Wanda Vision, kind of discussion and review. We appreciate you guys checking it out. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And for that, I'm Big Mike.
And I'm Little Ant.
Out.